Shall I start now, sir?
Just wait for a moment, madam. Next. Okay. Start, madam.
Good,
I'm start the class, madam.
good morning, students. Welcome to TRICE webinar class. Today, this is Manimala, H.N.Manimala, PGT English, Tsrs&Jc, Choutupal, Yadadri, Bhuvnagiri district. Good morning, students. Today, let's discuss the language and grammar and comprehension items, which are next to the lesson to serve with love. So here we are taking up today Module 3, Unit 9, Language Use, Grammar and Comprehension. Dear students, these activities are very essential for us to practice because you can get more marks by practicing and correctly doing it in the examination. As such, we are dealing with it. Now let me tell you first idioms and phrases. So this is already, I think you have one unit about a small exercise about stress, and then that will be done later because you need some rules and rules. There is another chapter specially meant for that. When it comes, you can do that. And next you have a matching of meanings. That also very easy because you have been given all the glossary while I have handled the class, and also at the back of textbook also glossary is given. With the help of that you can do it. Next item is idioms and phrases. So here let me give you some, because this is a new thing for you, I would like to give some inputs to you so that you can do the exercise well. So first let me tell you what is a phrase. You know, a phrase is a group of words that express a concept and is used as a unit within a sentence. It does not include a subject and verb. So here a phrase, group of words, a set of words together will give one meaning only. It all together give one meaning. You know, in our in a sentence there will be subject, there will be noun, pronoun. You know, all the parts of speech. It may be there in some orders. So now here it is a phrase is a set of words will give a particular meaning, one meaning only together. They all together will give one meaning. So that unit in that sentence is called a phrase. So it does not include subject and verb. Subject will be there, but will be separate. That phrase will not include subject. Verb means what verb? Finite verb. Finite verb will not be there. Maybe some other verbs may be part of that. There is a phrases, different kinds, as there are different kinds of phrases. But finite verb will not be there. I think all of you know what are the finite verbs. The verbs which decide the tense of the sentence are finite verbs. That will not be there in that phrase. Okay. So what are the phrases? We have so many kinds of phrases. So what are they? Noun phrase, verb phrase, gerund phrase, infinitive phrase, appositive phrase, participle phrase, prepositional phrase, absolute phrase. So like this, we have 8 types of phrases. And there is, of course, there we are not going deep into it because you just have to know what is a phrase. That is enough for you. So we are not going deep into it about each one. Of course, why I am telling means it will not be in a particular form only of this set. There are, since there are different kinds of phrases, here also you will get different kinds of uh, types of sentence pattern. That is that phrase pattern will be different as there are different kinds of phrases. So for example, here the tiny mouse, a breathing space, only occasionally, give up, look after, all these are phrases. The teeny mouse. Teeny mouse means a small mouse. We have to tell all together. You know, uh, we say red-faced man, whitewashed house, off-eaten biscuit, off-eaten, like this. All these will come under a this kind of thing. A beautiful white saree, like this, and these are all phrases. So some may be a noun phrase, some are adjective phrase, like this. A breathing space, a space that we have, breathing space. only occasionally, which happens occasionally, which happens occasionally. We say that occasionally. Give up means leave something, leave something. Look after, take care of. That is of course phrasal verb also. So here, so these are all phrases. You have a part of in your doing idioms, you will also come across some phrases. So you have to notice this because they have used as a single unit. And breathing space means like having some time to react, to pause, take a pause like this. So like this, in order that, on provided that. So there are so many other in spite of, that is a prepositional phrase. Okay. In case of, that is also prepositional phrase. So there are this kind of phrase are there, they will give, you must know one thing, that they will give it all together, gives one meaning. You cannot break it, or you cannot use in another way, or using other words. Okay, that is a set of thing which will give a meaning. So now what is idiom? Idiom is also a phrase. An idiom is a phrase or an artistic expression whose meaning is unpredictable from the usual meanings of its component words. Means here it is also a phrase. Idiom is also a phrase. But what is the difference between other phrases and this phrase is, it is an artistic expression whose meaning is unpredictable, which we cannot predict. Predict means say what it is exactly. We cannot, unpredictable from the usual meanings of its component words. Usual meanings. What is, suppose if there is a word to word, literal meaning, it will not have a literal meaning. Word to word, according to the word, what it means, it really will not give that meaning. It gives a different meaning. That is a speciality of idioms. We have many, these are all very important for a language. So in a language we have so many things which beautify the language, which will add glamour to the language. So this kind of, you already, you might have known about figures of speech. They are like simile, metaphor, that is paradox, irony, euphemism, alliterations, so many other idioms of other figures of speech are there. They also give beauty to the language. In addition to it, these are also, idiom is slightly different from figures of speech, because figures of speech we can somewhat imagine the meaning, guess the meaning, whereas here in idiom we cannot even guess the meaning, because it will be different, it will give completely different meaning than what the words literally mean. Okay. So that is the speciality of these idioms. That's why they are very beautiful. They will add very glamour to the language. Moreover, cultural impact will be there on the idioms, because we know idioms and proverbs will change from place to place. Maybe is somewhat different. So local influence will be there. I cannot say that it may mean the same at every place, but local influence will be there in making that idioms, in forming that idioms. Okay. Now here, let us know this. An idiom is a phrase. It is also a phrase of an artistic expression. We will use it in a very artistic way. Okay, whose meaning is unpredictable, undeducible, which we cannot predict. We cannot say what this actually mean. We cannot, unless we know its real meaning. We have to know its meaning. To use it, you have to know its meaning, because we cannot get the meaning just by looking at it. From the usual meaning of its component words. Idioms make language exciting and dynamic. What are the advantages of idioms? Idioms make language exciting and dynamic. Dynamic means very interesting, very active part will be flow of good flow of words will be there. Idioms have a sense of mystery and fun about them. So a lot of mystery. Now, why it is mystery? Since we do not know what actually it means, there will be what he actually is told. So there is some mystery, and also fun, because the words used are really funny, because they are not the regular words. So they are used are in set of words which phrase is used. A little it gives fun to us. Idioms help us enrich our language. They help us enrich our language skills. The people who could use idioms very well, they must have to know about it very well. So when appropriately using, instead of telling a lengthy explanation or lengthy description about something, we can use one idiom appropriate. If you can use suitable idiom there, it will reduce your lengthy of conversation and saying or something. And then it will enrich your language. In that way, it will enrich your language. They are nicer to listen to and make the conversation less monotonous and more funny. They are nicer. What are nicer? Idioms are nicer to listen. When you listen it, you feel very, and it will very comfortable and very pleasant, and make the conversation less monotonous and more funny. Less monotonous, monotonous and more funny. It makes us more funny. Okay. Okay, now here we are going to know some of the examples here. An arm and a leg. So here you see an arm and a leg means very expensive. Okay, see eye to eye. See, actually an arm and a leg, it doesn't mean something. So we say that very expensive. What actually to say that? Very expensive. See eye to eye means agreeing with someone. Break a leg means good luck. But what we think, break a leg, I would like to, I wish you, you at least now you have to break a leg. Otherwise, wherever you say, I wish you break a leg. Suppose if you say, the people think, what is it you want me to break my leg? They think, but actually it says that break a leg here says that good luck. Okay, so here in the, for example, yesterday it rained cats and dogs, we say. Do you think that cats and dogs will come from the sky? No, that means it rained heavily. So instead of we use this idiom. So that's why I told you that it gives fun to the language. So next we'll see, we'll go to the next. Next we have to go to the next. Next I'll tell you so many other. We'll discuss other. So a few more idioms and their meanings. I will tell you few more idioms so that you can know what is how it gives a different meaning. Fit as a fiddle. Actually, being in good health. What does it mean? Being in good health. Don't judge a book by its cover. Means not judging something by its initial appearance. So here it what it says and what gives the meaning is completely different. We have to know it. Unless we cannot guess it, we have to know it. And going on a wild goose chase. Going on a wild goose chase means doing something that is pointless. Doing something that is pointless. Pulling someone's leg. And joking with someone. Pulling someone's leg means joking with someone. When pigs fly, something that will never happen or impossible. What does it mean actually? When pigs fly. So when we, it will not happen. When we want to say, when pigs fly, means it's impossible, like this. A bed of roses means easy option. It is a easy option for us. When we have to say that something, it's a bed of roses for me to choose a, for example, if you want to say that I would like to choose IIT or NIT, it's a easy option, something, it's a easy option for me to choose IIT. No, then it is a bed of roses for me to join IIT. So like this, we'll say. So something which is good, we have to do that. And next, next slide. Okay. Once, so here now I have given you the idioms and its usage also. Once in a blue moon means happen very rarely. Happen very rarely. She goes to movies once in a blue moon. So this is once in a blue moon means happen very rarely. She goes to movies once in a blue moon. A piece of cake means very easy. Something which is very easy, we say it's a piece of cake for me. Cooking food is a piece of cake for me. Okay, piece of cake. Actually, they think we are asking for some piece of cake. No, not what actually it means is to give to easy a task, something which is easy. On cloud nine means very happy. I'm on cloud nine. We say that I'm happy, very happy to say that Rani is on cloud nine when she got first rank. What we can say that is a uses. You can use it. Let the cat out of the bag. Reveal a secret accidentally. We don't want to intentionally, but by mistake we reveal one secret. Then we say let the cat out of the. He is discussing. He's talking to us by mistake. He let the cat out of the bag. We say that my mother let the cat out of the bag about my surprise gift to my dad. So she would like to keep it a surprise, but by mistake, by accidentally, his mother expressed this. So like this, these kind of uses will enrich the language. These idioms will enrich the language. This kind of uses will empower our knowledge, language skill, and this you can use it only when you know the meaning. In the examination, you will be asked to you have to ask will be given this idiom and you have to use it in your own sentence. So for that you will 4 marks you will have, and that you will get. So be from actually why I took up this now. In every lesson you will come across this kind of uh, idioms and phrases. So you have to practice then and there itself, and you should know the meaning, because then only, because why the what is the intention of the author or writer in using those idioms at that place, that you will know it when you know the meaning. We have to know the meaning, what context he had used. That helps you to use it. You can also use it in a similar way. That helps you to enrich your next. So now here in the textbook, you have been given these idioms. Use the following expressions in your own sentences. So what are given here? Earn a living. You have in the lesson to serve with love. You have come across these kind of idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases. Earn a living. What is this? Here it is earn a living. A make money to meet one's need. One's need. So barge one's way in and enter in a rude way without invitation. Ape everything. Imitate everything. Lay it on thick means emphasize, exaggerate, do one's best, do something with with a great effort, embark on, begin, start something, flung open something suddenly. Here you can use this in your own sentence. So here unaliving is a phrase, barge one's way in is a phrase, ape everything is a phrase, lay it in thick is a idiom. Do one's best, it's also a phrase. Embark on, start on, flung open. So these are all that. And now what is it you have to do is today you know the meanings are also given now. You use it in your own sentences. That is the homework. Okay. Next topic is about next. What is the next topic given there is transitive and intransitive verbs. So there is a one verb patterns are given. Verb patterns. You have been given verb patterns. Yeah, in every unit you will be given in every unit. And one unit after the lesson there will be one type of patterns are given. You need to practice it because you have it in the examination. So transitive and intransitive verbs. You should know to do that exercise because they asked you to use. They have used intransitive verb there. So what is the transitive and intransitive verbs that you have to know? Transitive verb is transitive verbs are used with a direct object. Means in all of you are familiar with usually in every in sentence usually in sentence there are many subject and predicate will be there. Subject means who does the action. What all he does is we call predicate. And another, when you do passive voice and active to passive, you know that a subject verb object is required in a sentence. You know that what is subject. Subject means who does the action, who do agent of that action, and verb means the action, and object is whose action, who on whom or whose and or thing, someone and something. The action is reflected. So that is the object. The thing which on which the action is reflected. That is the object. That is object. So like this usually we like to see that some sentences will have object, but not every sentence it must have an object, is it not? So you know that we are making many sentences without object also. So here what are transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are used with a direct object. Transitive verb will have a direct object. Means they answer the questions what and whom. So, okay, here I see the example. She sang a song. What did she do? She sang a song. Sang, she is a subject. Sang is a verb. What she did? A song is a object. I wrote a letter. I, subject, wrote verb, a letter, object. He plays chess. So here in all these sentences, after the object, after the verb, you can see the object. No? So it needs an object. Transitive verb needs an object. But whereas in intransitive verb, it does not need an object. It won't exert its action on the object. Okay. Whereas the transitive verb needs an object to show its reflects its action or exert its action. So here intransitive verbs are used without a direct object. They will be used without a direct object. They don't need a direct object. They don't answer the questions what and whom. When what and whom those answer, they need an object. But how it is done, why? So this kind of things sometimes may not need, sometimes many times need does not, they won't need any object. For example, they don't answer the questions what or who. So here Rani sings melodiously. Here Rani sings, but here on now on here you see the, you can observe the first example of transitive verb. She sang a what song, but here Rani sings how melodiously. So how it is answering how. Okay, I woke up at 5 a.m. So here also there is no object. And when you did, when it is answering when. The baby is sleeping. What is the baby doing? Sleeping. So here the baby is sleeping. Where? On bed. It is not given at what place where it is sleeping. It only the baby is sleeping. Action is continuing and without object. There is no object here. So these kind of sentences are in, they say here we have used the verbs intransitively. It's an intransitive verb. But not every verb, there is no rule that every verb should have a should. Here you can see some sentences where you can see that here we can see some sentences will have you we can use that sentences as a transitive, as well as some verbs can be used. Most of the verbs, many verbs can be used, both are transitive or intransitive. So here we can use it. Many verbs are used both as transitive and intransitive. For example, here we can see he painted a picture. He painted a picture. He painted colorfully. In the first sentence, you have an object. In the second sentence, there is no object. So how it is painted is only given. So how it is answering, first question answering what? He painted picture. He painted what? A picture. And second one is answering, he painted colorfully. How he painted it is answering. So what and whom only we use transitive verb. For others, we don't need to use the transitive verb. And now let us go to the exercise. Do that exercise which is given in your text. Let us do that. Here it is given an exercise in your textbook. This is a textbook exercise. So here what is given, instruction is given that read the following sentences carefully and notice the order of components in each of the following. So here ants move in a line, dogs bark when provoked. That is not optional. See here what are the given: subject, intransitive verb, any other expression, not the object, any other. Sometimes even it is optional. For example, birds fly, I say. So there is no need, there is no need to give the object even. Okay, it is intransitive, or we have to use it. You have to use in such a way that it won't need any object there. So ants move in a line, dogs bark when provoked. That is only the given in optional, that is not needed. I walked around my desk. The elephant grew slowly. The elephant grew slowly. So these are here. All these you can see that they are not object here in the third place. After the transitive verb, you cannot see any object here. So here the verbs used in these sentences don't answer the question what or whom. The ants move. What move? That not telling what whom. No answer for that. So what is, but how do the ants move? In a line or in a slowly, or we can say that any other expression apart from object you can use. Next, you see, as one a few another similar type of exercise I am showing you here with a few more examples. The glass broke into pieces. So here it is not the object. You know, my daughter sings melodiously. They spoke loudly. Squirrels run fast. So in all these examples, you can see that after transitive verb, we have not used object. Okay, so some other expression. We can use adverbs, or you can use a prepositional form of phrases, or any other expression, or adjectives. Okay, but not the object. It should not be the object. Okay, now next. You see, I have given a few more examples, sentences with intransitive verbs. The population grew rapidly. She hesitated for a moment. He fought furiously. See here in all these examples, you can notice that there is no object. So the population grew rapidly. How it grew rapidly? The population subject, grew verb. Rapidly is not the object. It is adverb we have used, but it is not the object there. She hesitated for a moment. He fought furiously. He stood there gazing at the picture. He runs along the beach every morning. My uncle passed away last night. My car broke down on the side of the road. He repented for his foolishness. See, he repented for his foolishness. He subject, repented verb. Foolishness is not the object, no? So these kind of expressions we have to do it. In the examination, you will be asked at least to write four examples of this pattern, and you will get easily you can get 4 marks. So pay attention to you to practice all this. You also write your own sentences. At least 10 you write today. Okay, after the class, today's homework is you have to write at least 10 sentences of similar pattern. What kind of pattern it is given? Like this. So serial number, subjective, intransitive verb, and any other expression apart from object. It should not be the object. And now, now you know next what is there in your textbook? Dialogue writing. So in your dialogue writing is there, no? Have you seen? After that, of course, there is one word pattern, that is jumbled sentences are there that you can do, and punctuation is there. That also is already told, and it is text based. You can do yourself and then check with your textbook and practice it. Okay. Now next comes the dialogue writing in the textbook. So what is dialogue writing? So you might have all hello. I think all of you have come from the CC pattern. You are well aware of the conversation, dialogue writing, and also interview. So already I think it is told to you, explain to you what is the difference between a dialogue and a interview. So dialogue means a day-to-day conversation. So what is, but even then, last year also you used to have this dialogue after every lesson. At the end, they used to give a dialogue, but you have not practiced it might much. You have just might have practiced, but that is not given in the examination. But here they will give in the examination. So you need good understanding, good practice in fetching, in getting the full marks. Okay. So what you should know the features. Any creative work, if it is also a creative activity, so you need some, you have to acquire the skills, and also you have to follow the features. In our day-to-day life, we meet many persons and interact with them in various social situations. Is it not? Will be you may go to the you may go to the market, or you will go to the bank, or you go to the school, or you will meet someone surprisingly on the road, or any other place, wherever different situations will be there. There you need to have to talk to the people. When two persons interact with each other, it is called a dialogue. What is a dialogue? So actually we call it conversation in the previous classes in 10th class, but here we say the dialogue. When two persons interact with each other, it is called a dialogue. So if people share, what do they do dialogue in dialoguing? Through dialoguing, what do they do? People share thoughts, feelings, and information through dialogue. So whenever you want to exchange your ideas, or you want to get information, you have to talk. You unless you talk to someone, you cannot get information from them. So we can also call it a conversation. We can also call it a conversation. So good skill in spoken English are an asset for communication among people of different mother tongues. What is most important is to have a good conversation, good dialoguing. You need a good skills of spoken English. In spoken English, skills are much required. Nowadays what's happening, many students, even after completing their graduation, engineering or BTech, or when they want to go abroad or some other places for study, some other states for studies, they feel a little bit not even in the college, in some of the, even if they go for job interviews, there will be group discussions at that time, and also in other play wherever they go, they need some good communicative skills. So lacking which they feel very shy and they feel very disturbed, and they cannot get boost up their confidence. They lose their confidence because they are not able to communicate very well. For that sake, they will sometimes they will take coaching, spoken English classes also they will attend. But if you practice right from in your classes, whenever there is this kind of works are given, and interact with your friends, with your teachers, or with your classmates, or wherever the people, wherever you get an opportunity to interact, then your skill will be developed. So what are the good skills in spoken English, are an asset? Asset means it's a plus point for it, for communication among people of different mother tongues. Next, here we know we start how we do. Actually, what are the steps we had to follow? What are the features that we had to cover? We start interaction by greeting each other. How do we start interacting? Any interaction, hello, hi, we say, or good morning, sir, like this. So in doing this, we follow social norms, is it not? Suppose you are interacting with a friend, hello, hi, how are you, like this. Suppose you meet your lecturer or sir or somebody, then good morning, sir, like this you will say that. So according to the social norms, means where you are, so according to the people where whom we are meeting, the bond that we have, so that depends on the greeting also. So greeting each other, first of all, we had to, what are the three main steps I am telling you? First, that we had to follow: greeting each other, discuss something, and take leave of each other with restraint and decorum. That is very important. That's what I said, social, we had to be social norms, means restraint and decorum. So what we say, first we will wish, we discuss something. Maybe the discuss may be sometimes elaborative, sometimes very short. So according to the need, according to the situation, and take leave of each other. After at the end we say bye, like this, or okay, well, see you next day, or see you, bye, like this we say generally. So bye, see you, sir, like this. Meet you again, sir, like this. That is, suppose if you are meeting the person who is a of some elder to you, or having some profile or something, he needs that respect there. So with restraint and decorum, that social norms we have to follow, social customs that we have, according to it, we have to follow that. Okay, here in the textbook, 9.8, page number 121, you have been given a dialogue between a doctor and a patient. Okay, doctor and a patient. So he just went to the doctor, he greeted him, sir. Then doctor asked, what's your problem? He said, this is the problem. He has some problem with his health because he had eaten pani puri. Then he asked, where have you eaten? At roadsides. Then he said that that is not good for health. Don't eat like this. Okay, sir. You use this medicine for 3 days, then you will overcome this. Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you very much, he said. So like this, they left. So he greeted. Then he discussed about what is a problem he has, and what is the solution. Doctor suggested the solution, give a remedy for it, and finally he took leave of him. So this happens in usually in every conversation, every dialogue, this happens. Yes, so here follow it carefully, all of you follow the dialogue, because only I would like to tell you one thing. In the previous classes, for example in the SSC, like that, you might have written a lengthy conversation. They asked you to write 10 to 12 exchanges, 10 to 12, or even sometimes more than that also you might have. But here it is not needed that much. You have to write only four to five exchanges, because it has only 4 marks. 4 to 5 exchanges that should be very apt to that, to that situation. Okay, so here you have been given a dialogue between a doctor and a patient in the text. Now follow it carefully and write a dialogue between two students. What is the task given to you? What you have to write here? A dialogue between two students discussing their opinion about the importance of communication skills. So the what is communication skills are very important. They are talking about it. So they have that is a topic they have to discuss. Okay, now here how they will start. First of all, suppose they greet each other, so you have to create the situation. That is the creativity. That is why what situation. Suppose if the exam and the student will say that how are you, I think your brother has got a job there, and no, no, he did not. And why not means she will say that because he lost in a last chance, last round. What is the reason? She said that he is not good at communicative skills, that's why he lost it. Oh, right, you said it is the communicative skills are really important for us, we should learn. Okay, from now on I will pay attention. Now itself I'll pay attention, I don't want to face that kind of problem, she may say. Like this they can take. Or otherwise, what's class going on, so something, Rupa, you are very good in communicating, you are very dare enough to speak to anyone, why not, I may say. Then they will say that that is because I am I know you are, how you have learned me, just I am talking to everyone, you can also do the same. Like this you can suggest you, that is your option, you can choose any of the situation. You have to imagine one situation where you will talk about the importance of communicative skills, and you write the dialogue. Okay, while writing dialogue, so you keep these things in your mind. What are they? Write a dialogue with 4 or 5 exchanges. You don't need to write it elaborately, because in the examination, time will not permit you if you go on writing pages and pages. Of course, some of the you should not divert from the topic. If you divert from the topic, you may go for a long, and you have to answer many questions there. No, many questions this year. Second year, not all their these are sub will not have multiple choice type or not like this. Here this year objective type. Here all the most of the things are, all the questions are descriptive ones only. So in that case, you should think about the time, and also you have to, how much is enough you have to write. Okay, and so little bit is okay, more little bit more is okay, but not but very, it should not be very very lengthy. Okay, now here what are the things you have to follow while writing? Write a dialogue with 4 or 5 exchanges. Use proper sequence of exchanges. So what the person asked, what you are responding, it should be in sequence. The question connected with the first question, the question that you have asked is connected to your answer, and based on the answer given by the other person, you have to link your question. So this kind of an, that answer, depending on the answer, other person will create a question. So this kind of sequencing is very important. Okay, follow social norms. That's what I told you with the social restraint and decorum. Social norms. So, madam, no, you cannot talk to everyone alike. No, the people are different. Their stature is different. Their status is different, or their position is different, or what we say that the need is different. You suppose if you are in a need to someone, you will be so pleasingly will talk. No, impress them with your, you have need to impress them with your talk. So follow the social norms. Use discourse markers. Well, we'll do that. It should not be like question and answer. Question and answer model. Dialogue should not be like question and answer. It should be like a regular conversation. How we talk in a day-to-day life. Well, certainly, precisely, of course, like this. This kind of things we had to use. And use short responses. What you have to use, short responses, brief responses, tags, contract forms, isn't it? Like this. Is it not? Even writing also. And yes or no type questions are more suitable for it. And wherever necessary, you have to use this. But that doesn't mean that everywhere you have to use contact forms. Wherever it is necessary, use it. Use the dialogue apt to the context, so that you, whatever topic is given, for example, here the communicative skills are given, so you have to use it accordingly. So here context, follow punctuation marks. You have to follow the punctuation marks as well. There are also question marks where there are a question tag you are using, and after statement you have to put comma and question mark. These are the things everywhere where they need a question mark or exclamation. Is it so? Is it like this? Exclamation. All these are required in writing a dialogue. If you write perfectly following all these norms, certainly you will get a 4 out of 4. Okay. Let us move to the next. So comprehension is there. So there are two comprehension passages. They are both are unseen. They are very important for you. No, we know it. Just will read and write, but every time it's not so easy to write. So without comprehension, reading is a frustrating and pointless. What is? Let me tell you a few things about comprehension. What is comprehension? Comprehension means reading and understanding. You will read for understanding something, get to know the things. Okay, without comprehension, reading is a frustrating and pointless exercise. Some people say, I can read, but I cannot understand. That's waste. When you read, you have to understand what is given there. Without comprehension, reading is a frustrating and pointless exercise. Whenever while you're reading, you must understand. The skills required for a good comprehension are what you have to do are identifying the words. You have to identify. You have to guess the meaning. Identify the words. Guess its meaning. Only few words will be. If you do not know, you have to refer the dictionary, and or otherwise you have to ask your teachers or lecturers to know its meaning. Finding main ideas. What is the idea presented in the comprehension? Identifying cause and effect relationships. What is the cause? What is the relation? Why it is given? What are the things linked to it? Comparing and contrasting and sequencing idea. What is compare? You have to what there may be some comparisons, something are given, contrasting, sequencing. You have to, what is the topic given? What are the thoughts presented there? You have to sequence them. Comprehension is viewed as the mastery of above skills. If you have this above skill, identifying words, finding main ideas, identifying the cause and effect relationships, comparing and contrasting and sequencing, then you can do comprehension perfectly well. Don't take it light, because you can get full marks in this if you pay good attention to it. Now, here are two comprehensions here. The teaching profession about that is in 9.9 exercise. One is given about here paragraph. The teaching profession is said to be the noblest of all professions. Teachers are household. Teachers are honored all over the world. International Teachers' Day is celebrated on October 5th, and Teachers' Day is celebrated all over India on the 5th of September, which is the birthday of an outstanding teacher, philosopher, and the second president of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. When Dr. Radhakrishnan was the President of India, some of his students approached him and requested him to allow them to celebrate his birthday. Dr. Radhakrishnan said, instead of celebrating my birthday, I will be happy if September 5th is observed as Teachers' Day. It is an example of Dr. Radhakrishnan's love for the teaching profession. From then onwards, his birthday is observed as Teachers' Day in India. It is a remarkable day when teachers are honored and felicitated for their commitment and dedication. I think you have understood, except one or two words. Nothing is new. All the words are familiar to you, I think. When is International Teachers' Day celebrated? They are asking International Teachers' Day. So okay, so October 5th you can answer. What did the students request Dr. Radhakrishnan? So this is the important. What is that requested to celebrate his birthday? Did Dr. Radhakrishnan accept the proposal for the celebration of his birthday? You say yes or no. This kind of questions you have to think yes or no. Here he did not accept the proposal of the student to celebrate his birthday, but he suggested to celebrate his birthday as the birthday of the teaching community, all the teaching community. That means Teachers' Day as Teachers' Day. So here what do you say? For the student's proposal, he said no. So you have to say no for this. So here you need little bit thinking. What makes Teachers' Day remarkable? That is the day you will be honored and felicitated for their commitment and dedication. Why did Dr. Radhakrishnan want his birthday to be celebrated as here, pick out the word in the passage which means extraordinary. This kind of questions you should know. What is there? What is that word? Which tells us you should know the meaning. So that is it. Remarkable. What is the word? Remarkable. So here you have to refer to the words, or you should know the meaning. Or you can sense from the sentence also. Guess from the sentence. Why did Dr. Radhakrishnan want his birthday to be celebrated as Teachers' Day? Means because he himself has a great respect for the profession. So that's why he would like to. So here remarkably, because teachers are here, why he had a great respect for that profession, that you can guess from the paragraph. In the similarly, another paragraph is given. There is about WBE. It says that education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. The real goal of education is to illuminate and refine the mind, and not the mere collection of data. Unfortunately, the schools that impose loads of information on students are identified as the most remarkable ones in the contemporary context. Parents and teachers have to realize that the excessive stress and the untold agony caused in such schools will mar the mental growth of children. Value-based education is the need of the hour. What does W.B.Yeats say about education? What did he say? It is not the filling of first sentence. You can get the answer. But don't think that every first question will have a first sentence. Okay. So filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. What is the real goal of education? To illuminate and refine the minds. But so you have to take it that you have to identify the answer here. Which schools are identified as the most remarkable ones nowadays? The schools which impose loads of information on students. What is the result of excessive stress on children? What is happening? So they are mental growth. So they will mar the mental growth of the children. This is the very important. The untold agony caused in such schools will mar the what will be the result? They will mar. Mar means damage, spoil. You should know the meaning there. Mental growth of the children. So, which word in the passage means sorrow? What is the word? Agony. So, what is the word? Agony. That means sorrow. What is the need of the hour in the present context? So, value-based education is the need of. Some answers will be, so in some passages the answers will be direct. Here, in the most of the answers are direct. So sometimes it won't be. Why? Suppose if the question, you have to reason and think and answer. Okay, that is about this comprehension. I think all of you are good at it, but still you need a little more practice so that you can get full marks. You can gain full marks from this. So for that, you need little bit practice. Do it. Next, so this is all to this today's class. Thank you, and we'll meet you tomorrow with the poem. The poem is Advice to His Son. Thank you, girls. Thank you, boys and girls. Thank you, everybody.
Completed, madam.